Hey guys, I am back and we're doing a follow-up to BattleBox mission 98. Now I had put a post about this up in my community section Wednesday, if I'm timing all this right, and I really hope I am. Wednesday I had, so my BattleBox video was originally supposed to go on Wednesday. However, some things transpired Tuesday night. Now I'm not, how do I say this right? So I always want to give you guys a 100% true perspective, okay? And sometimes that means, acknowledging when something, so this video was already done, it was already edited, and new information came up from the other side of the aisle, we'll say. Now, full transparency and integrity purposes says I can't just ignore it like it doesn't exist. I have to give an equal say, especially if I'm going to, in a video, say, I believe XYZ has happened, or I think I have discovered, 1, 2, 3, ABC. I'm trying not to quote the Jackson 5 right now, sorry. But things look sketchy if you've seen the video with the knife. And I'm gonna, if you want to go back and look at that video, I'm not gonna rehash it now. In a particular group somewhere, that was aired and it was discussed and it was talked about. Okay. And it was before Tuesday this was brought up. Excuse me, sorry. Early in the morning, I'm just trying to get this out, figure this all out. So my original intent was to edit the video before I published it for the public. My Patreon folks had already seen this video. It was already uploaded to YouTube. I thought maybe I would take this new information and try to edit it in to cuts between, what was already up there. The thing is, it looked forced. It looked choppy. It didn't flow. It didn't look natural. And if it doesn't look natural, it looks like sketchy, in my opinion, double sketchy. And I didn't want to do that. So I thought that the best way to cover this would be to let the video fly, let it go, and then come back the next day and say, guys, I have updates. Guys, I have to give you some more information for it. And that's why I'm doing this update. And sorry, I have to put my energy drink down. It's Tropsicle. I want to come back now and I want to address some things, and I want to give some credit where credit is due, and I want to introduce a new angle to it, because folks at BattleBox came back to this group and said, listen, there have been some screw ups in the past. Things have happened, but this time we acted on this information. In fact, the terms that they used were they came in very hot towards the knife manufacturers. There's a lot of back and forth, and they were very quick to share this. So listen, guys, I have my views on stuff, I have my take on stuff, but like I always have to make sure that I apologize when I make a mistake, or I give credit when credit is due, because if I don't, then you guys don't trust that when I give a review of something, or that when I make a video about something, where's your view that I'm giving you the real deal? You know what I mean? And for me, this was a big thing for the BattleBox staff to directly address this. No double talk, no, some of their statements before, like the Tecto Alara, let's face it, it seemed very kind of defensive. And again, from my point of view, the thing with the dead fish knife seemed very defensive response about it. But this was no nonsense. We saw this. It was not cool. We addressed it. Here's exactly what we got back from the manufacturer. We learned something from this, and we're on top of this. And here's exactly what. So you know what? That's pretty damn cool. That is. I feel like they handled this in a really awesome way, and I want to make sure you guys know that. And here's the information that came out of that. So I'm just going to show you a screenshot. I'm going to show you exactly. I'm not going to give you everything because it's a lot. But I'm going to give you the final kind of screenshot that came out of that. Now, of course, we're talking about the Razorback knife versus the Coast version, the Coast knife that, you know, I still, honestly, I still have some questions. I do, because there's some things that I can't, like, don't settle in my mind. Like, how would two companies think that they have the patent on the same thing at the same time? That's still, but again, that's something that needs to be worked out, because I don't know how that is. You know, they think they have the patent on this. Coast thinks they have the patent on this, apparently. You know, and I don't understand how that works. But I'm not a patent expert. I can't tell you how that works. I can just tell you what companies say they have, you know, like how they advertise. They Coast comes out on the website and says it's a Coast patented thing. I can tell you when Coast came out with theirs and how long it's been, you know, on the market versus this one. You know, and I can tell you, and I said in the video, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they both came out of the same factory in China, and apparently they do. So who got screwed and where it came from, I don't know. But I think it's pretty. I want to, you know, like I said, I want to come back and say, we've got people acknowledging, not getting defensive, not denying, not making a double-speak response, acknowledging, well, shit, this situation sucks, and let's figure out what went wrong, what happened, what is going on. And I really respect the people at BattleBox for mediating that for us consumer types, because, you know, that's really, I mean, that's my thing. I'm all about, I've been ripped off by some products that seem really good in my life. I have deployed with lowest bidder gear that has fallen apart to shit when we really needed it in the field. And that's where my anger for people being ripped off comes from. That's where my attitude comes from. So I think I need to come here and tell you guys, like, okay, so I was, you know, especially, you know, when I do the drunk unboxings, I do that because it comes out. You know, so let's okay, BattleBox is acknowledging it, man. So let's give them some time to work this out and figure this out. Because if these guys, Razorback, legitimately thought they had a brand new patented system, I'm not saying China won't lie, but it's a weird situation. It is a very weird situation. So I want to address that, and address the fact that BattleBox within a couple days was on it and had a very not only a statement addressing it, but a mea culpa statement, not a you guys don't know what you're talking about statement, not a don't worry about it statement, not a shut the fuck up statement. Hey, there are things for us to learn about this, and we're going to learn about this, and we're going to keep you guys apprised of what's going on. That's exactly what we want. That's exactly what that's, you know, taking some accountability, and to say, listen, we'll sort this out for you guys. They're doing their best. Them doing their best is all we can ask for. So I think that's really cool, and I want to put that on the record here after my take on it in the review. The second item that I want to talk about, that I kind of talked about in the review, are these camping lights. Now, okay, I'm not going to lie. I still think this is a stupid camping light. I do. And everything I said in the video about it being more of an artsy craftsy thing, I still would not, that's not changed. However, I did go on Amazon and look, and I highlighted one that I said, like, this is probably better. Based on, it looked the same, it seemed the same. I bought it. I bought it right here. And there are some things that I think are better about this one for a cheaper price. However, I have to tell you, I have to be honest, that I was mistaken in the fact that when I plugged these in, these were actually brighter lights. They also get hot. These don't. But these 100 lights, these individual LEDs, do give off a slightly brighter light than these ones do, one for one. So, you know, depending on how you want to look at the product, these might be considered better quality lights. Now, I can see in the construction, I can kind of see how they're a little bit different. Okay. So you've got 200 lights. First of all, I also want to say, I love that these came on a spool. It's a simple plastic one, but you can spool them back up when you're done, whereas this is just that. I absolutely like the remote control that you've got with numbers and settings over this thing, which you have to get to your USB, and let's face it, there's not much on there that tells you what to do. And this also gives you a push button. Now this push button is not as good as their push buttons, because this just cycles through everything. But it is 1/3 the price of that. However, again, for full transparency, to let you guys know, absolutely, these are brighter lights. These are brighter LEDs. And I'm going to demonstrate to you exactly what the differences are, so you can make an informed decision. Some people are willing to pay for a brighter LED, just like with flashlights. Maybe that is worth it to you. So I don't want to, I want to make sure I'm letting you know that there is a difference between the one that I found, even though if you look at them side by side, you would never, I mean, let me get the actual, an LED and an LED. So here, this is not going to show up on camera very well. But if you were to, I mean, look LED to LED, you can barely tell them apart. But I'm going to splice in right here, snip. I have the big light off, because we're going to need it off anyway to see the lights here. But just to do a quick comparison, so you can start with the size of the cord. And yeah, this cord's a bit more rugged. It is, you can see. But, I mean, you have much more cord for this one leading up to the actual string of lights. So I'm going to plug in first. I'm going to plug in these ones. They both kind of go on automatically as soon as you plug them in, which I'm not a fan of. And these ones are on, they're on like a whatever pattern. So let me find the like regular mode. You may see a little flickering on screen. I see it on the camera screen. I don't know if that's going to be on the video, but I see that. So these are on. Now let me plug in the BattleBox ones. And you can see that, yes, the BattleBox ones are brighter. They are brighter lights. I mean, in a 1-for-1 scenario, you've got brighter lights on the BattleBox string than on the Amazon string. That is true. The modes that you get, and I'm trying to... It's a little hard because, you know, the wire is springy and wants to do what it wants. It's another reason I'm not a big fan of this. You definitely have to secure it down to something. I also don't know the tensile I can't think of the word. How much twisting? Like if you're going to use these over and over, how much twisting can these little copper wires take over time? So here's BattleBox's different modes. And I think this is this the crackling fire mode? Wait, I can turn off the actual room light. There we go. So here's the crackling fire mode. Okay. Or is that crackling fire mode? I don't know. I can't really figure it out. And then if you, I'm repeating some, and then if you want them to just be on, you have to hit the reset button. And they both dim and stuff. So now let me show you all the modes. Now the thing is, you do have to point the remote control at the plug. It's kind of like a string of Christmas lights. I already do 7? I did. I'm going down 1, 3, 5, 7, and now I'm going down the even numbers. Because 8 is the solid on. And yeah, you can see they kind of have functionality similar to Christmas lights. And then 8 is the solid on. And then this one also happens to have a timer, though, if you can see. You can set a timer. And the dimmer. So this is brightest. And now the BattleBox one also has a dimmer, but it's honestly a little harder to use. It just goes up and down, so you have to know when you hit the appropriate one. But anyway, there they are. My important thing that I want to show you is that the BattleBox LEDs are actually brighter than the Amazon LEDs. You do get twice as many of the BattleBox of the Amazon LEDs, and what I think is a better control system. But if you're into the actual level of light, BattleBox wins. So now you can see what the actual differences are. I still, like I said, these are, to me, these are decor items. These are not useful camping in the field items. The insulation on the wires is barely there on either one. I mean, barely there. I'm not saying you couldn't find something to do with it, but I wouldn't take these as an outdoor item. Again, one last time, I spoke. I said they were the same. They're not. They're not. And you need to know I was wrong. And I need to say it publicly. So that is it. That is the update on this box. You know, anything that you guys may have noticed, or if you think I was wrong about something else, feel free to throw it in the comments. Feel free to say it. And, you know, if I go back and I look and you're right and I was wrong about something else, I'll say it. I'll acknowledge it. But I always feel like I owe it not only to you, but to whatever box it is I'm looking at, that if I notice something egregious, sometimes I can write, sometimes it's something little that I can just put in the comments. I can pin it in the comments and say, hey, this blah, blah, blah. But I feel like in this case, this deserves its own, and I've done this before, right? And I always will, to make sure that you guys don't ever have any reason to question integrity or anything. I will come back and tell you, hey, I was wrong, or the situation is different, or it's not what we thought, or it has changed, or, you know, a mistake was made on a scale big enough that I need to put my face out here so you could throw a pie at it and say, you know, hey, I made a mistake here. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think of both the original video, of the products, of the original statements, of the new follow-up statements. My boys, still on active duty, sent me a new patch, and I'm pretty happy about it. Yeah, so that won't go there. I still have to get my other patch panels filled out so we can have full giant bag of patches that still need to go up. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate every single one of you. You are all absolutely awesome. And I'll be back again real soon.